Hey, coin collectors, it's DC on the Big D. We got the 1949 United States Washington quarters here. We got two of them. This is a Philadelphia one, but you can't tell till you flip it. And this is a Denver one, and you can tell because it is flipped. And on the back, there's a D right there, right above where it says quarter dollar. And they made 9.3 million at Philadelphia, and they made 10 million at Denver. 1949 was a really low year for production because there was an economic recession at the end of 1948, which lasted until about 1950, according to NGC, one of the grading agencies. And so that meant that they didn't make as many coins. And in 1949, they didn't make very many quarter dollars at all. Really, really hard to find a good one. We do have a good one that we borrowed from a friend, and we'll show you that. I'm going to show you that still in the archival book because we're not going to handle that one. Now, most of us are never going to have one that looks like this. This is just a spectacular one. Probably getting in the $50 to $60 range minimum when you get one that looks like this. This one's actually from an archived book that I borrowed from a friend. So this is a 1949. Very, very, very good shape. Let's take a look at the back of it. So here's the back of the coin, and you can see something that you almost never see on a 1949, and that is these chest feathers down the front, and just these really good detail as we go down through here with the ribbon and the claws of the eagle, and then even at the top, even on the head, you can see that little bit of the cowlick. So these are things you almost never see on a 1949, and that's when you start talking about real value. One of the reasons we don't focus on these kind of coins is because these coins you can't touch them or do anything with. So let's get back to our coins so we can pick them up, move them around, and talk about them. So let's take a look at these one by one. So this is a Philadelphia one. We can tell we flip it over. No mint mark back there. That means Philly. United States of America at the top. It says E pluribus unum here. Quarter dollar at the bottom. And you can see the eagle holding a sheaf of arrows. Not much definition to the arrows, but you can just barely see the ribbon that ties them in the center. And then when we look at the eagle, we can see that there's no feathers on the chest and not much definition there. We can also see that the rim is worn down so much that the rim is the same level as the rest of the coin. This is a silver coin. We're talking about $6 or more in silver just in this coin alone. A little bit of a green there. That happens sometimes with silver. It just kind of oxidizes. Make sure you don't clean your silver coins. A lot of collectors won't buy them if you do. We get onto the front and we see it's Washington facing to the left. In God We Trust down here, 1949. This, again, is a really worn out coin. We can see where the rim comes in. The auction record for one of these is $17,625 from 2013. If you get one of these to a mint state 65, it's around $65. So they can be very expensive. On the Denver coin, there is an auction record of $43,475. Just this great coin that came up in 2019 at the Legend Rare Coin Auctions. PCGS says that a mint state 68, which is the highest they've ever found, is currently worth about $22,500, and a mint state 65 is worth about $55. Now we have the D and we have the Philly. But there's no San Francisco mint, there's no S mint mark coins. In 1949, they didn't make the S mint mark. They made it in 48, they made it in 50. But 1949, no San Francisco quarters came out and no proof quarters. So these are the only two quarters that were produced at the US mints in 1949. Now they did produce other coins. They produced, of course, the second year of the Ben Franklin $50. You can see that here, Liberty at the top and God We Trust, 1949, and Ben facing to the left. These things are worth some money these days because they're 90% silver, 10% copper. You see it says United States of America on the back. D up there for the Denver mint, and that's where the mint marks are on the Franklins, and then $50 at the bottom. And you can see the lines going across here. Can't really see them. This is not a valuable coin except in silver value. They also made the dime, the Roosevelt dime, 1949, We flip this one over. We see this is an S dime, so they did make dimes at the San Francisco Mint. This one's so worn it's of no value at all except its silver value and its value as a San Francisco Mint coin. Still probably minimum $5 for this coin to buy one. There's the nickel from 1949. The Jefferson nickel is Monticello on the back. No steps on this one. These nickels were 75% copper, 25% nickel. You'll only get value in these nickels if you get them with the steps on the back in incredibly good condition. And then finally they made, of course, the penny. This is a Lincoln penny from 1949. Wheat ears penny. So there's wheat ears on each side. 1 cent in the middle, United States of America. No mint mark means this one is from Philadelphia also. So they made plenty of coins in 1949. They just did not make many quarters. Look for these out there. Be prepared to pay a little bit of a premium for the 1949s because they made so few of them that you're probably going to have to spend somewhere around $8 to $10 minimum for a 1949 quarter, perhaps more than that. All right, that's all we have today from Big D Coins. Love to have you subscribe to the Big D Coin channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.